schools worker at the Beaches Baptist Church, and it's great to be back with another episode of Bible Bites. And this week I thought we could talk about the topic of faithfulness. Okay, I have a slight confession to make. If you ask me what my favourite colour is, I can guarantee it might be different to if you ask me a week later or even 2 weeks after that. In actual fact, I've probably got about five favourite colours. If we're still being honest, I'd say it's not just the same about my favourite colour, but if you ask me what my favourite food is, or if you ask me what my favourite movie or my favourite song is, I'm not great at having a favourite because I change my mind quite a lot about these things. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's like this. For the most part, the stuff that we kind of change our mind on, a bit flippantly like that, isn't actually the important stuff. It's kind of quite small in the grand scheme of things. I don't think it particularly matters if my favourite colour is blue or if my favourite colour is orange, and if that changes from week to week. For me, that's not going to have a massive impact on my life or the lives of others around me. But there's also decisions that I've made in my life that are actually more important, and they're decisions that I want to stick by. When I got married, I made a vow to Callum that actually as long as we're both alive, we're going to stay together. And over the summer we got our cat Toast, and when we picked her up we made the decision that we're going to look after her as long as she's around for. They're not decisions that I made lightly. These are decisions that I'm not going to change my mind on from week to week. If I did that, I'm sure Callum and Toast would probably be very grumpy about it and feel quite hurt. Those decisions had a lot of weight to them. It was important that I made that decision to be faithful to that choice. As a Christian, when I made that choice to become a part of God's family, that was a big decision to make. It wasn't something that I did lightly. It changes how I see myself, it changes how I see others, and it changes how I see the world around me. It's not a choice that I kind of will go back on or flip from week to week depending on how the weather is or how I'm feeling, but it's a choice that I'm going to stick by. And what's really exciting is that when I became a Christian, I found out that God has made a similar promise to me. He's promised that He's going to be faithful, that He's not going to abandon me, He's not going to leave me, but He is going to be faithful too. All throughout the Bible, God is described as a faithful God. He's not flaky, He doesn't give up on His people, but He stands by them. In the Old Testament, there's a book called Deuteronomy, and throughout this book we start to get glimpses of what God is like and who He is. In Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 9, we get this statement that kind of sums up exactly what God is all about. I kind of like to imagine it a bit like if God had an Instagram account or a Twitter account, what his kind of bio, his handle would be saying. It says this: "Know therefore that the Lord your God is God, the faithful God who keeps covenant and steadfast love with those who love Him and keep His commandments to 1,000 generations." That's a pretty cool Twitter bio or a pretty cool Instagram bio. And I think it really does sum up what God's all about. He's a God who's full of steadfast love. He's not flaky, He's not going to give up on His people, and He really cares deeply about us. My challenge for you this week is to have a think. Are there choices or decisions that you've made in your life that you've put a lot of thought into, that you've not gone back on? What's made it easy or what's made it difficult to be faithful to those choices you've made? And why did you make them in the first place? If faithfulness is something you're struggling with in any sort of way, in any sort of decision you've made, especially if things are really difficult at the moment, why not ask God for help? After all, He is our faithful God. He's the expert when it comes to this. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon.